Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Willie, and this is the encouraging word for today. There are two types of people in the world. Doesn't matter what race you are, what ethnicity you are, what sex you are, how tall you are, how much you weigh. There are there are two types of people. You could divide the world into two groups of people. People who are wise and people who are fools. People who are fools. And the Bible, throughout the Bible, contrasts these two groups of people. Those who are wise and those who are fools. Psalm 14 verse 1 says, "The fool says in his heart," or her heart, "there is no God." And it says in Proverbs chapter 2:6 that for the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. So you're not wise if you study very hard, do great in a profession, and become well known, you have a good job, you make a lot of money, have a nice house. You could be a fool if you say there is no God. You could have no money. You could be poor. You could be homeless on the street. But if you know there is a God, you're not a fool. So the things we judge people by, the external things, are not what the Bible, what God judges people by. You're either wise because you know God, or you are a fool because you do not know God. And so the question in your life and my life, first of all, is, are you a fool or are you wise? And you become a fool or you become wise by who you listen to, who you follow. If you listen to God, you become wise. If you listen to people, for example, you become a fool. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 21 says, "The world through its wisdom did not know God." So you're a fool. Yes, there's a certain type of wisdom in the world. Someone could make this lamp, this telephone. There's a certain type of wisdom. But if the person making it doesn't know God, they are a fool at the basic level of life. So you can listen to people, but you become a fool. You can listen to Satan. Satan, however, is the father of lies. So he will get you to trust in something or believe in something that makes you a fool in God's eyes. You'll be a fool. In fact, I believe Satan's goal is that you would become a fool. You can listen to yourself, and that's what most of us do. We figure things out. We listen to ourselves and we follow what seems right in our own eyes. But you know what Proverbs 14:12 says? There's a way that seems right to a man or a woman, but it ends in destruction. We're fools. So the basic question of life is, who are you going to listen to? You'll either become wise or you'll become a fool. Now, Jesus came to show us the Father. He came to teach true wisdom to his followers so that we would become wise and not be fools. And as he's teaching Peter and the other disciples, and we've been going through the book of Matthew together here on the encouraging word, and we're taking the position of Peter as if we're hearing what Jesus is saying. And in these last few chapters, Jesus is hammering home a key teaching He wants them to be wise. So he's teaching them wisdom. And the wisdom is this, and this is a key teaching throughout the whole Bible. It's a key teaching if you want to be wise. He's teaching them that he's going to be crucified, dead, buried, rise again, and then that he's coming back. He's going to return. And when he returns, there'll be the time of judgment. But no one knows that day or time. It's what people call imminent. Could happen at any time, but we don't know the time. Jesus is coming back, and there's going to be a judgment of every single person. Now, you can see how being a fool or being a wise would apply in this situation. So Jesus tells them 3 parables to illustrate this point. The first one is a man going away on a trip, and we looked at that on Friday's video. You can go back and review it if you like. A man going away on a trip, and he leaves his possessions in charge of one of his servants to take care of the household. And the man thinks he's going to be gone a long, long time, and he's not coming back. It's not imminent. It's not any moment. So he doesn't do what he's supposed to do. Why? Because he's a fool. He thinks, well, he's not coming back. He's delayed for a long time, and he doesn't believe he's coming back. Yeah, maybe in the future sometime, but he's not coming back now. How many people today would say the same thing? Yeah, he's not coming back now. He's not coming back now. He's a fool. So Jesus told that story because the master in that story came back and he wasn't ready. What a tragedy. What a fool. So he's going away, but the man goes away, but he doesn't believe he's coming back right now. He's got plenty of time. And that's a lie of Satan. You have plenty of time. I went to a funeral the other day on Thursday, and I asked the person who died's sister how old the person was. And they were the same exact age as I was. Same exact age. I said, at that impact, I went home and I was thinking about that. Wow. I sometimes think I have so much time. Any moment, Jesus could come. Any moment, I could go and be with him. So he tells that first story to teach that it's imminent. It could happen any time. The second story is about 10 virgins. That's what we're going to look at today. 10 virgins. It's a wedding at that time. And there's a bridegroom. That's the man, the husband. He's coming. There's a party all set up. Everything is ready. But in that culture, no one knew the exact time that the bridegroom was coming. That was the way they did things. They weren't Americans, so you got to be here at 10 o'clock. It wasn't like that. The wedding is let's say like this. The wedding is tomorrow. And so everyone's ready for tomorrow. And the bridegroom is coming. The exact hour he comes, nobody knows. Nobody can be sure. But he's coming. So in the story with these 10 virgins, they all know he's coming. They all know he's coming. And he's coming very shortly. They all know that. But they don't know the exact time. So it's not like the servant in the first story where he wasn't sure he was coming he was thinking he was coming in a long time. No, they knew the bridegroom was coming any minute. All 10 of them knew that. And they were waiting for a cry. There'd be a cry, a notice that the bridegroom is here. And then they would go into the wedding. That's the way it worked at that time. But you know, it's one thing to know something. Listen, It's one thing to know something. It's an entirely different situation to apply what you know to your life. So there are 10 virgins. They all know the same thing. The bridegroom is coming, and he's coming soon. Jesus said there's 5 wise virgins, 5 foolish virgins. The 5 wise know he's coming. The 5 foolish know he's coming. The foolish ones took their lamps, so oil lamps, but they didn't take any oil with them. In other words, they had the lamps because it was going to be nighttime by the time this guy came, but they didn't take any oil with them. The wise ones, however, took their lamps and they took oil in their jars along with the lamps. They're wise. So it took a long time for the bridegroom to come. Maybe he was nervous. I don't know what the story was. But he came that evening. But it took a long time. They all became sleepy. It was getting near midnight. They were sleeping. They fell asleep. At midnight, they've been waiting probably since 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And they were sleeping, drowsy. At midnight, the cry rings out, "Here's the bridegroom. Come out to meet him." They all woke up, turned on their lamps. The foolish ones realized they didn't have oil. They didn't take oil. They didn't go get oil. They weren't ready. So they said, "Our lamps are going out. They'll have a little bit of oil." They asked the 5 wise ones to give them the oil. They said, "No, there's not going to be enough for you. Go instead, go buy it." The wise were ready. They went right into the wedding feast. And the 5 had to go to the seller of oil to get some oil. But while they were on the way, the bridegroom arrived. And they went into the feast. The 5 who were ready went into the feast. And then the door was shut. The door was shut and locked. And so the foolish ones came a little bit later. They got the oil. They knocked, "Lord, Lord, open up. We're here." But he said, "Truly I tell you, I don't know you." It's one thing to know something. It's another thing to apply it. Wise people apply what they know. And if you know, and I know, Jesus is coming back, and it's at any time, I have to apply that to my life. You have to apply that to your life. Yes, Satan will whisper to us, "You got plenty of time. Go to college first. Get married, get the house, settle down. Then you'll have time." One thing to know something, another thing to apply it now. And so Jesus gives us the point. In Matthew 25:13, he says this, "Therefore keep watch, because you do not know the day or the hour." People, Satan, yourself will tell you he's not coming back. Maybe you don't believe, you believe he's coming back. But to believe it is one thing. To apply it is another thing. And if you don't apply it, you are just as foolish as if you didn't believe it. Be ready. Be on your guard. Keep watch. He's coming. God bless you. I'll see you on Wednesday.